Tom, let's take a look at a different technology now. Gazing into my crystal ball, I see quantum technology, quantum power. During SC22 this week, Dell released a blueprint for a traditional IT server infrastructure that allows for the integration of quantum computing with traditional computing. The idea is that an organization that uses a traditional server infrastructure would deliver the results from quantum calculations from technologies powered by IonQ. Dell's goal is to take complex calculations like these that are being run on GPUs and offload some of these things to quantum before returning the results back in a traditional system. The hope is that by integrating these two technologies, Dell can provide value by letting quantum computer do what it does best and leaving the rest to more traditional computing systems. This sounds pretty smart. What do you think, Tom?
So I think Dell's finally figured out how to unlock the value of a quantum computer. So the short version, for those of you out there who haven't watched my Conversations episode on quantum computing, quantum computers look at all possible states of a problem and give you probabilities to their solution. That's why they're really good at things like factoring extremely large numbers, because they just know all the solutions to the problem all at once. The problem is that they're not very good at doing what we would consider mundane tasks. So a traditional computer can still do those kinds of things very quickly. But like factoring a cryptographic key, it's almost impossible. But if you run something on a quantum computer that it's not designed to do, it takes forever. And quantum computers are expensive, mostly because they require a ridiculous amount of power. They require a ridiculous amount of wind-up time, because you basically have to cool them with liquid nitrogen to even get them going. So what Dell is effectively saying is, instead of trying to figure out how best to utilize a quantum computer, why don't we let the system figure out what a quantum computer is really good at? So by creating this interface, you can let the traditional computing architecture just kind of churn away at things. And when it hits a problem that a quantum computer would be best suited for, it can effectively farm it out over there. Now, by creating architectures that are large like this, what you can do is you can batch those jobs for the quantum computer. So if you're going to have to ramp this thing up and get it ready to go, you want to feed it work as much as possible to take advantage of the state that you had to put it in. And so by basically creating this batch job where IonQ can say, okay, we've got these 18 things that we have to do, then we run them all, we create the results, and we send it back so that the system that's waiting can do all the processing. Then it can do what it does best, which is go, oh, here are some results, and I think they should look like this, and this is what the result is. That gives better leverage to traditional existing architectures, but also allows quantum computers to really focus on their value proposition. And I think that that's going to make it more likely for people to consider using them, because right now, when you hit one of these hard problems, as pointed out in the article, your solution is to just break it down and spread it across a whole bunch of GPUs. Well, GPUs are still more like traditional CPUs than they are quantum computing chips, which means while they may be able to be doing really good things in parallel, they're still going to say, for this data point, here is an output, as opposed to, for a given data input, here are all the possibilities that could potentially be it, and I have a very high confidence level that it's this. And that means that you're not going to be able to use the traditional GPUs to solve those larger problems. And that's where this value comes into play. So I'm kind of excited to see if any companies are willing to pick this up and run with it. And hopefully Dell can make a little bit of money off of it through that partnership.